Night of revelation. The city lights flickered outside Jake's apartment window, but he didn't see them. His eyes were fixed on the enormous pile of documents spread across his desk. For 15 years, he had lived for this moment. He had the evidence. He had a name. He had the power to finally destroy Daniel and the Blackstone Financial Group. He felt like a soldier on the brink of a decisive final victory, but the silence of the night was broken by a frantic knocking at the door. It was Sophia. When Jake opened the door, he didn't see the confident woman he had trusted. Her face was pale, her eyes red from crying, and she clutched a tattered, old red file to her chest, as if her life depended on it. "Jake, you have to stop," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Everything you think you know is a lie." Jake frowned, stepping back to let her in. "What are you talking about, Sophia? I have proof. Daniel will pay the price." Sophia walked to the desk, pushed Jake's papers aside, and placed the red file in the middle. "I went back to your father's old office, the basement office, of the mansion that everyone's forgotten about. I found a secret compartment behind the floorboards. Jake, your father didn't lose that money. He wasn't a victim of Daniel's greed." Jake's heart began to pound in his chest. "What do you mean?" "He transferred the money himself," Sophia said, her voice almost inaudible. "He opened a secret account in your name. He didn't do it for himself. He did it because Daniel's associates, who are far more dangerous than Daniel, intended to kill your father to silence him. He took the blame for the millions of dollars lost to ransom your life." Jake reached out, his hand trembling as he opened the file. Inside was a handwritten letter. He immediately recognized his father's elegant, neat handwriting. "My dearest Jake," the letter began. "The truth is a burden I cannot bear until you are strong enough to fight back. I have made a deal with the devil. I will let them destroy my reputation so they will no longer bother you. Do not seek revenge, my son. Just live." The room reeled. The hero of Jake's life, the one he wanted to exonerate, was a man deliberately walking into the fire. Jake realized that by exposing Daniel, he would also expose his father's illegal overseas accounts. He would destroy the very legacy he had fought to protect. "And there's more," Sophia said, her voice regaining some strength. "Daniel knows about this file. He's been waiting for you to find it. He wants you to realize that if you destroy him, you'll also destroy your father's memory. It's a trap, Jake. A perfect psychological trap." Jake looked at the letter, then at the evidence he'd spent years gathering. Anger, colder and sharper than before, surged in his chest. "Then I won't play his game," Jake said, his voice dropping to a growl. "If Daniel wants a secret war, I'll give him one. But I won't do it alone." He looked at Sophia, scrutinizing her eyes. "Why did you find this out now, Sophia? After all these months?" Sophia took a step back, her expression shifting from fear to something Jake couldn't understand. "Because I can't let you destroy yourself, Jake. I care about you too much." But Jake noticed something. In the reflection in the window, he saw Sophia's hand reaching for her bag. A small silver device, a tape recorder, was flashing. "Who are you really working for, Sophia?" Jake asked, his voice eerily low. The air in the room grew cold. Sophia didn't flinch. Instead, a small, sad smile appeared on her lips. "I told you, Jake, your father made a deal with the devil. But he's not the only one." She took out the tape recorder and placed it on the table. "Daniel isn't the one you should be afraid of. There's someone above him. Someone who's been watching you since the day your father died. And they're waiting for you downstairs." Suddenly, the heavy screech of tires on the gravel outside echoed through the apartment. Black SUVs pulled up on the side of the road. Men in suits stepped out, their faces obscured in the shadows. Jake looked at the red file, then at the woman he thought he loved, and finally at the men approaching his door. The mystery of 15 years ago not only changed his past, but was also about to determine whether he had a future. The truth won't set you free, Jake, Sophia whispered as the door was kicked open. It only shows you just how big your cage truly is. The truth is incredibly dangerous. Sometimes it sets people free, but sometimes it destroys every memory we've ever believed in. Jake stood frozen on the rooftop. A cold wind lashed against his face. In his hand was the red file that could ruin Daniel Blackstone forever. But that same file could also shatter his father's last shred of honor. Then Sophia leaned close to his ear and whispered something that shattered Jake's world. Jake, your father didn't keep the money to himself. My mother helped him. All the sounds of the city seemed to vanish. Jake looked at Sophia with a bewildered expression. What did you just say? I only found out tonight. My mother worked for Blackstone Financial 15 years ago. She was your father's personal accountant. No, that can't be. Jake, my mother disappeared 2 days before your father died. Jake felt his heart pounding in his chest. Each new truth made things even more terrifying. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because I was afraid you would hate me. Afraid you would think I was a part of this from the beginning. Jake turned away, gripping the rooftop railing so tightly, his hands trembled. For 15 years, he had believed Daniel was the only devil. But now that darkness was deeper than he had ever imagined. An hour later, Jake and Sophia stood before an abandoned storage shed near the harbor. The air was thick with the smell of rusty metal and old dust. Sophia took out a small silver key. What is this? My mother left it before she disappeared. For years, I didn't know what it opened. Until tonight, Sophia walked to a locker hidden in a dark corner. Her hands trembled as she inserted the key into the lock. The door slowly opened. Inside was an old videotape. A tape? My mother once said that if the truth ever came out, this would explain everything. Jake quickly found an old, dusty video player. After a few tries, the screen finally lit up. Noise filled the screen. Then suddenly, a man appeared. Jake almost choked. It was his father. Older, more tired, and full of fear. If someone was watching this video, it meant Daniel had failed to destroy the evidence. Jake moved closer to the screen, his eyes unable to leave the image. Jake, if you live, I need you to understand one thing. Daniel Blackstone was never the real boss. What? Above him were others. Powerful investors, politicians, people with enough money to wipe out an entire life. Daniel was just the messenger. Sophia covered her mouth in horror. Dad took the money because he discovered their plan. The employees' children were threatened. Their families disappeared without a trace. Dad thought that if he took the money, he could buy his son's safety. But he made a terrible mistake. He trusted the wrong person. The screen suddenly flickered violently. Then the image returned, and Jake's world completely collapsed, because standing next to his father in that video was Sophia's mother. Jake rewinded the tape over and over again. Sophia stood motionless beside him, her face pale with shock. My mother knows your father, perhaps even more than I ever knew. Her name is Elena. If anything happens to your father, please protect her daughter. This isn't her fault. Jake frowned. Protect her daughter? It was me. Elena tried to help Dad expose this organization. But someone in our own group has betrayed us. The video shook violently, as if someone had just entered the room during filming. Jake's father looked frantically toward the door. If Daniel finds this tape, we're dead. A mysterious voice from behind. Turn it off. Now, the screen instantly went black. Silence fell. Jake stared at the dark screen. There was someone else there. Did he recognize that voice? Jake closed his eyes. Then he opened them wide in horror. No way. What's going on? He knew that voice. Jake's hands trembled as he opened the red file folder. He pulled out a confidential Blackstone financial document. At the bottom of the page was a signature. Not Daniel's, but Lily's. Daniel's daughter? She was never innocent. She was involved in all of this from the beginning. Narrator. Just then, Jake's phone rang. An unknown number. Jake hesitated before answering. Who is it? Lily. You should have burned that tape, Jake. Jake was speechless. Now they know you have it. And believe me, they're coming. Outside the warehouse, headlights suddenly appeared in the darkness. Black SUVs surrounded the entrance. Jake, we have to go now. Footsteps echoed through the hallway. Men in black suits stormed inside. Jake grabbed the tape and the red file. This way. The two ran through the narrow corridors amidst the deafening sirens. Jake's heart pounded. Everything was changing so fast. His father wasn't the villain. Daniel wasn't the mastermind. And now Lily, who had once pretended to help him, was also hunting him. Jake, behind you, a gunshot rang out. The glass shattered right next to Jake's head. He and Sophia dashed out the side door into the pouring rain. The city streets blurred under the car lights and thunder. Jake turned to Sophia. Tell me the truth right now. Can I believe you? Sophia looked at him with teary eyes. I swear to you, Jake, I'm trying to save you. But before Jake could answer, a black SUV slammed on its brakes right beside them. The window slowly rolled down. Inside was Daniel Blackstone, smiling. Get in, Jake. It's time you met the people who truly ruined both our lives. Jake stood frozen in the rain. 15 years of searching for the truth. And now he realized it was only the beginning. Jake finally knew the truth about his father. But the deeper he dug, the more dangerous the secrets became. Who were the people behind Daniel? Why was Lily helping them? And is Sophia really trustworthy? The end is near. If you enjoyed this episode, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss episode 11, the explosive conclusion of Secrets Never Die. And now, here's a question for you. If the truth could destroy everyone you love, would you still want to know it? Please comment in English.